Hello everybody and welcome back to another fan submission, a Norscan fan submission today from Katam, who has, I said on the last cast with Scrutinize up, I put the word out for some Norsca replays. Today Katam is up against Ewaz, who will be known to anyone who frequently who frequents the quick battle ladder, but I digress. Let's get on with the forces. So Ewaz is coming in with the Skaven here. 4 units of Skaven slaves up the front. We've got some Skaven slave spears on the flanks and sort of in the back here as well. A couple of units of Poison Wind Globadiers. Obviously very, very nasty unit. Very, very cost effective and very high damage output. More Clan Rat spears in the back here. We've also got 3 units of the Eshin Triads. Now these are quite an interesting pick. I don't mind it either because they don't have a ton of sort of weapon strength apart from when they're fighting bonus versus large, and they have a very small unit count, so they're a very, very niche pick. But obviously with concealment bombs and their weeping blades, which does reduce armor, they can put a lot of punch into sort of heavy cav and that kind of things, and with obviously concealment bombs and just generally good speed. I mean 49 speed's very, very quick for an infantry unit. Can get where they need to go and avoid, I guess, shooting, which is their main sort of weakness. We've also got a couple of units of the gutter runners in the rear here. 2 of them do have the poison, and likewise the gutter runners do have a nice ability here, I believe, called the snare net, which does actually debuff charge speed and regular speed of the units that come and try and run after them. So decent combat stats as well on gutter runners, poisoned attacks and poisoned missile units. High burst damage, but yeah, again, it's a very lightly armored force here, as is the way for Skaven quite regularly. Packmaster here, which is an interesting pick because there's not a lot of Molder monsters in this list, but Packmaster up on his Brood Horror, or whatever they call that disgusting rat thing. Shot Collar for some stat debuffs, as well as the passive. There is also the passive regen ability, which I believe has actually not been taken. So it's just the constant regen to self, not the area of effect passive that takes hold of Molder monsters. We've also got an assassin up here, just with concealment bombs, Ryle Hide Talisman, and the Assassin's Trophy. And leading the force, we have a Grey Seer of Plague coming in with the Warp Storm Scroll, good for punching down manticores out of the air and that kind of stuff, holding them in place. We've got Vermin, the Dreaded 13th, as well as the Unholy Clamor and the Scorch ability on the belt. So we'll put it on a little slow play as we have a look at Katam's force, and I love it. I already love it because there's Ice Trolls. Bit of a, I don't know, something of a meme unit. They are, I guess they have their cool little sort of frostbite effect, and they are a high damage dealer, but same issue you have with just any type of trolls. Very, very low leadership and not really any ways to imbue immune psychology, similar to the way Grom does and even Archaon does with other troll factions. But we've got a whole heap of Marauders up the front, obviously very good at clearing through basically all chaff, barring probably Plague Monks and Storm Vermin. But yeah, for a low cost unit, they have reasonably good stats, and their in-range mechanic does sort of pep them up a little bit the longer they stay in combat. A couple of units of Berserkers. Looks like 2 Feral Manticores up in the sky. Over on this side, we have some Chariots, as well as Wulfric and a Fire Shaman on the Chariot. Fire Shaman is rocking Fireball, Burning Head, and the Scroll of Shielding. Wulfric's coming in with Seafang, Hunter of Champions, and it looks like Stand or Die. And then we have a unit of Skin Wolves, and then we've just got a bunch of Wolves out here. All types of Wolves. Ice Wolves, regular Warhounds. We'll call them Wolves today, Honorary Wolves, and a nice unit of Skin Wolves here. Now, Skin Wolves trade very well into things like Rat Ogres, lightly armored targets, so have some good... actually, that's one thing that sort of strikes me about this game. A lot of glaring omissions here that you usually do see from both factions. No Rat Ogres, so not a lot of mass blocking potential here from the Skaven. And no Marauder Horsemen. Very uncommon for the Norscans and the Warriors of Chaos, 2 Chaos factions. So it looks like the Eshin Triads over here have indeed popped their concealment bombs. A few volleys coming in from the Poison Gutter Runners, and it looks like Katam is aware that the Triads are going to have a very good matchup up against Skin Wolves. Skin Wolves very poor at killing infantry and don't want to be taking the anti-large poke damage from the Triads. Funnily enough, Norscan Ice Wolves are also a large unit NC, so they probably don't want to stick too long against the against the Eshin Triads here. They are obviously being weeping bladed down. 7 armor currently, so they're probably going to take a little bit of damage, but we are setting up for a couple of nice wind spells here. Scorch going down from the Grey Seer, and a nice Burning Head roasting a unit of Eshin Triads as well as the Clan Rat Spears here. So a nice early game pickup. Also looks like that Scorch has done a bit of a number on the Marauder Berserkers, but it may also have been a Storm Vermin summon. And the Sword and Board version here is actually going to be pretty tough for the Norskins to deal with, because Berserkers, Marauders are really, aside from the Norscan Ice Trolls, there's not a lot of AP in the front line here for the Norskins. The Manticores have dropped down. They were afflicted by the Warp Storm Scroll, so their speed is really in the toilet at the moment. They're struggling to take off, but they will get back into the air, and it looks like this unit over here will try and compromise the globes, but a lot of burst damage coming in from the Gutter Runners with poison, really bursting down that Manticore, and it may rampage to its doom here on the Eshin Triads, who are going to make use of their anti-large. Over here, the Skaven infantry kind of struggling a bit because, as we said earlier, there's no mass. The chariots have gone ham on the Clan Rats here, and now this is a very, very nice little pickup for Katam. There is going to be a Hunter of Champions going down, absolutely nuking the stats. 0 melee defense and 10 armor on the Packmaster at the moment, and the Skin Wolves are going to be having an absolute whale of a time. And you can see he's already routing, probably may even just be able to be chased off here and out of the game. So a nice pickup there, potentially by the Hounds, but the Hounds look like they might be flowing the Gutter Runners. So let's see what the Trolls are doing. Let's check in on the Trolls. We've got 1 unit of Trolls over here, 39 kills, still a decent amount of unit models. Other unit over here is, yep, still full on unit models, not done a lot of damage, as we see another Scorch will go down. Trolls obviously are, I guess as a monstrous infantry, aren't going to take a ton of damage from a breath weapon, but are weak to fire as well. And Scorch does do flaming damage. And this is where we're actually seeing a bit of a dilemma here for the Norskins in their lack of mobility with no Marauder Horsemen. A lot of the ranged assets, the Gutter Runners, the Globes, and this kind of thing have been pushed out of the fight, but there's not a lot left to actually chase them down. This Manticore is probably only a shot or 2 away from rampaging again if it comes close to these Gutter Runners. And I suppose the Ice Trolls don't have a lot of competition, despite maybe a Vermintide going down here, which will maybe block their path and allow the Grey Seer to escape. But they're just going to get shot down, and as we said earlier, not a great leadership. They may have an ability to, heal through a lot of the chip damage from the Gutter Runners and this kind of thing, but just the leadership penalties from obviously a Fear Causer nearby in the Grey Seer and the terror of the Brood Horror, and then just the debuff effect from taking fire. As we can see, 12 unit models of them now jumping out of the fight, and whilst they still do have a lot of regen left, yeah, it's never a nice sight to behold, and copying a Withering Volley there from the Globes. This Manticore over here is back online. He's probably been doing some work, rolling around with Wulfric. Wulfric has been Assassin's Trophy, I believe, so he's pulling out and wasting that. And another nice Hunter of Champions. Both the Hunter of Champions that we've seen so far from Katam have been really spot on, although it looks like wasn't able to really box the Packmaster in, and he has extricated himself from that situation. But a lot of terror over here and a lot of hitting power. The Grey Seer's down to about half health, and a mass exodus here from the Norskins. And we see just an ability now for the Gutter Runners to basically kite out the remainder of the Norskins, probably even these Hounds. They could probably just countercharge the Hounds if the Hounds are getting too close here. And with the Globes punching in onto all of the, I guess Globes really are better at taking out infantry. Might be able to do a little bit of damage, but Wulfric is very, very healthy. Another nice Burning Head coming down here is going to roast through the Gutter Runners. That Fire Sorcerer... Oh. And that's a pullout from Ewaz. Okay, well, I didn't think that was quite over, but that's interesting. I suppose when we hit the end screen, we'll be able to take stock of it a little bit more, but that Burning Head is definitely going to do a number on those Gutter Runners. There is some returning Norscan troops down here. I think... Oh gosh, it looks like those Trolls have actually shattered. That's horrendous. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that the game's ended right there, to be honest. But let's take stock of the situation. Yeah, Wulfric very, very healthy, and has, as we said in the early game, the Chariot characters here. That's probably a lot to do with Burning Heads as well. Yeah, nearly 100 kills on the chariot. Well and truly over 100 kills on Wulfric. Some good burning. Oh, look at that damage. That's a lot of fried rats. Just no mass. Just no mass really to pin the chariots, to pin Wulfric. And you know, potentially then the triads can come in and make use of their Weeping Blade effect on Wulfric, who does have good armor, and chariots that I think are 90 to 100 armor. Even Ice Trolls, I think, have something like 70 or 80, so they've got decent armor stats. But we'll go through the lists nonetheless. Grace here obviously did get some good value in the early game from that dreaded 13th, and we did see a couple of good Scorches. And the Assassin, I think Katam was mainly able to evade the Assassin's Trophy there that we saw at the end there on Wulfric. Rival Hide Talisman would have no doubt been used, but the Packmaster had an absolute shocker, just set upon by those Skin Wolves who really had a good target, particularly with Hunter of Champions going down. I think actually I think a Chieftain would have just been a better pick here than the Packmaster. Packmaster's obviously good with the sort of bubble healing effect on Molder monsters, but we didn't really see any Molder monsters here. So yeah, Packmaster's an interesting choice. Obviously it does have self regen, but yeah, Guardian, Aura, and the anti-large on a Chieftain might have actually been a better pick there. But yeah, Skaven Slaves die. That's what Skaven Slaves do. Clan Rats actually getting reasonably good value. And yeah, the Eshin Triads just got burnt down. Good, some good burning heads. Some good sort of bait and switches with the Hounds. Hounds on the charge will do a lot of damage to Triads because they're very lightly armored. They do have some physical resistance. And then decent damage on the Globes, which you pretty much expect to see. Gutter Runners are a nice pick here. They're, like I said, very good at bursting down Feral Manticores because even though they are quite short range, they have good projectile speed. So when a Manticore comes in to dive, you know, it really only takes a volley or two until the Manticore's taken enough damage to the point where it's rampaging, and then the Triads can potentially get on them, and it just, yeah, Manticore's fighting, you know, cheap infantry here isn't really what they want to be doing. Oh, the Trolls though. It hurts. It hurts. But I love that. I mean, I think this unit had shattered with 12 unit models. So that's just, if that doesn't sum up Ice Trolls and Trolls in general, I don't know what does. But the Manticores did reasonably well. This one not so much, but this one was really hunting that Grace here in the end. And yeah, just a lack of mass. I mean, the infantry here actually for Norsca has not done that well. It's been bursted down pretty nicely by the Gutter Runners, but yeah, nothing to deal with the characters. And as you see here, the Chariots, Wulfric, even the Shaman Sorcerer, given how much work they've done, are all just very healthy. Allowed, good use of a nice combined arms force here, obviously with 100 Champions allowing the Skin Wolves to really smack the Packmaster around. So very nicely played by Katam. Good to see the Norskins getting a win. A very volatile matchup in general, this one, because both units are very good at applying burst damage, but not very good at taking burst damage. Very lightly armored, very flimsy. Skaven, obviously, with their low morale, and Norsca just being a very lowly armored faction. But nice to see two forces. As I said, no Rat Ogres for Skaven, no Marauder Horsemen for Norsca. So I guess kind of they're ticking that off-meta box that we love on its current year. So yeah, thanks to Katam for sending this in. Well played, and thanks to everyone for checking it out. And until next time, take care.